Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Currently On podcast. Today is Monday, August the 24th, 2020. It is currently 11:42 a.m. Central Time, and I'm coming to you from Abilene, Texas. Well, in this episode, I'm going to begin something that I think will be very unique. It's going to be different. I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I think there's a need for it. Here's what I'm going to do. Beginning in this episode, I'm going to take the next few episodes. I don't know how long it's going to take, but starting in this one, and then maybe 3, maybe 4, I don't know how many. But over the next few episodes, I'm going to try to provide a very detailed and comprehensive review of AT&T TV. Now, you may be thinking, why do multiple episodes? That's weird. And I understand most reviews are done in one episode, but I think whenever you're doing a review, like for something like AT&T TV, where there are so many opinions, a lot of negative opinions about it, and you're dealing obviously with television, streaming television, I think there's a lot of different issues to be talked about. And I have spent hours watching a lot of the reviews posted on YouTube about AT&T TV. And to be honest with you, no matter how long the episode is, whether they take 20 minutes, whether they take almost an hour, I really feel that none of the reviews have really answered the questions that I have really covered the things that I think need to be covered. And in some cases, the reviews have been downright misleading and contain wrong information and false information. So I thought, you know what? I have basically subscribed to every TV streaming service there is. I was using DirecTV. Literally, I was there in Omaha, Nebraska. I was walking through a mall, and I think I was in the Sears department store at a mall in Omaha, Nebraska. And all of a sudden they kind of wheeled out this big cart, and I'm like, wait, what's that? And they're like, there's this new thing called DirecTV. I'm like, well, what is it? And they said, well, it's like satellite TV, but it's not one of those big satellites. It's like a little miniature, kind of small satellite. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. How much is it? And they told me, and I'm like, okay, I can afford it. So I purchased it. I didn't know how to hook it up. I didn't really know what channels were available. It was just one of those impulse, I'm going to try it. And I took it home and was using DirecTV satellite television, and nobody even knew what it was. And it was a fun experience. I remember I didn't even know how all of my expertise. I know how I can set up stereo equipment. I can set up audio equipment. I can calibrate your ultra high def 4K television. But when it comes to installing and mounting a satellite dish, okay, that requires tools that I don't know how to use. Okay. I didn't know. So what I did is I literally set it out right outside my front door, and I just propped it up with some bricks, and I got it pointed in the right direction. I'm like, okay, that's a good signal strength. And boom, I went back and started watching DirecTV. Finally, someone helped me kind of get it mounted on a pole somewhere. But yes, I was using satellite television. I mean, I don't know if it was available in other parts of the country before then, but I just know that the second it showed up at a mall in Omaha, Nebraska, I just happened to be standing there, and they said I was the very first person to purchase one because they just put them out, and I used DirecTV for years. Then I went from DirecTV to Dish Network, used Dish Network. Then I got rid of, obviously I used cable TV before the satellite. Obviously, I'm not trying to give a correct chronology here, but I used DirecTV, I used Dish Network, then I got rid of all of that, no cable, no satellite, and then I started using all the different streaming services. I used PS View. I've used Hulu with live television. I've used Sling. You name it. If it's a streaming service, I have used it. I've used everyone. You name it, I have used it for some period of time. And there's positives to streaming. There's negatives to it. There's frustration. One of the big frustrations I have, no matter what service you use, is trying to get the channels you want. It's really frustrating. Like, I love Hulu Live television. I like their interface. I like the way it's set up. There's so many things about Hulu Live that I love. But for example, Paramount television network, the Yellowstone TV series, which is absolutely amazing. Well, I want to see the Yellowstone TV series. So, well, guess what? Hulu doesn't have Paramount TV. So then I have to find another streaming service where I can get Paramount TV. And so all of this becomes like, okay, I've got this streaming service, but then I need this streaming service because, well, I want this. Well, this doesn't have that. And trying to piece it all together can be very frustrating. And then overall, the money that you thought you were saving, well, you then end up, well, I've got to have this streaming service and this streaming service. For example, if you want NFL Red Zone, NFL Red Zone in the NFL Network, well, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that on Hulu Live. You're not. So where do you have to go? Well, you can go to Fubo TV, and you can get the NFL Network and you can get the NFL Red Zone. You got to get their base package, and then you have to pay, I think, an extra $10. So, well, okay, well, then that's going to cost you around $70 on top of what Hulu with their live television, which is about 60 something. So you see, now you're well over $100. And then others may say, well, you could get rid of Hulu and then you could go. It's always difficult. And then what's very frustrating is you'll get one streaming service, and they'll have the channels you want, and then those channels get dropped. And then you're like, oh, here we go again. So trying to piece all of the channels together is one of the frustrating things. Now, if you're very limited in what you watch, if you're very limited, let's say you don't want sports, then it's probably pretty easy for you. But if you have a wide range of interest and you love to watch all kinds of different things, from documentaries to movies to TV shows to sports, well, then it can be very maddening going, I just want one service that gives me the ability to get any channel that I want. And that's very difficult to come by in the streaming world. It can also at times be difficult even with cable or satellite, depending on what you want. Sometimes that can be very frustrating. I think it's a lot easier in many cases. Historically, cable just gives you, hey, here's all these packages and you can get any channel you want. You just got to be willing to pay for it. But with streaming, they try to do those smaller bundles. They try to make it as economical as possible to get you to move away from all of those. And in some of those cases, guess what? They have to limit the number of channels. And that can be very frustrating. Now, for some people, they say, well, I don't want to pay for channels I'm never going to watch. And I understand that mentality, but here's the way I think. I never know when I may want to watch a channel, right? I may never know. Like I may say, I don't ever watch that channel. And then I never watched Paramount Television Network. I've never watched Paramount Television Network. And then all of a sudden they have the drama Yellowstone. And the next thing you know, guess what? I want to watch the Paramount Television Network. I may not be watching a network currently, but I may want to be watching it next week. I may want to be watching it next month. I never know when a new show is going to show up. I was just watching, I think it's called the Logo. I think it's Logo TV Network. I can't remember. And they're doing a marathon of Laverne and Shirley. Well, I've never watched that network. Never cared to watch that network. I don't even think that network is available on most of the services that I have. But I'm like, okay, I remember Laverne and Shirley. I never was a huge fan of it, but I started watching it, and it was a high def, kind of a remastered version of Laverne and Shirley. It looked really good, and I was like, okay. Started watching it, and I'm like, boom, hit record the series, and I'll watch it. Now after I watch, 10 episodes, 15 episodes, 5 episodes, and either I'm going to I'll just keep watching it, or maybe I'll just say, I'm done with it. And then I may never watch that network again. But by it being available, then I could watch it. So I know some people I only want to pay for what I watch. But what if you want to watch something else? So I like the ability to go, oh, it's available. Now I either can pay for the next package and get that channel, and then after a month, go back to a lower package and not have to pay for it. Having it all available on one service makes it a lot easier. So I don't really subscribe to the mentality. I only want to pay. I do, in one sense, I do subscribe to the mentality. I only want to pay for what I watch, but I want to have easy access to something in case I see something on that network that I decide I want to watch. I want to have the ability to watch it or to get the network or not get the network and to watch it or not watch it. I just want it available. That's all I want. I want to have the ability to watch whatever I want whenever I want to. All right. So that is that's something that I may differ a little bit on the way people think. Now, one of the great things about streaming services, there's a couple of great things about streaming services, is obviously you don't have the equipment, fee that you have their box, and then you have to pay a monthly fee for having their box. That's one of the things that saves you money with streaming services. Another wonderful thing about streaming services is no contract, right? I can go to Hulu, cancel in a month, go over to Sling, cancel in a month, go to Fubo TV. I can go Philo. I can just go from service to service to service, depending on what I want. And I love that. I love that freedom of just canceling anytime you want. So obviously I have a lot of thoughts about streaming services, and I could go on and on and on. Another thing about some streaming services, sometimes I'm not always, now I'm very picky here about picture quality. This is the thing that really frustrated me. When I first got DirecTV, the picture quality was outstanding. And then over time, as they added more channels, they became more compressed and they were no longer as sharp. They were there was just something about them that did not stand out. Dish Network, in many cases, there's some channels I'd look at and like, that looks like garbage. And I would be like, man, I can't, based on where I live, I couldn't really get a powerful signal. And I was like, maybe, that will boost the picture quality. And I'm like, I'm paying all this money, not happy. Well, with some of the streaming services, there are times I'm super pleased with the picture quality. And then there's times I'm a little disappointed. So I'm always trying to find which one has the best picture quality. And a lot of that determines on what device you're using to stream it on. All right. So let's talk about streaming television. Let's talk about devices used to stream television. I have them all. I have a Roku. A Roku, I think, it's the high def 4K version of the Roku. I have that. I have the Apple 4K. I have the new TiVo 4K streaming device. So I think I've got everything. Amazon, you name them, I have them because I love trying new technology. Now, for me, hands down, not even close, Apple Television, the Apple TV 4K, I believe provides the best picture quality, especially if you subscribe to a channel through Apple TV itself. If you got the Apple TV app and you subscribe to Stars, Cinemax, HBO, all the different channels available through the Apple TV app, and you're watching it via your Apple TV, I think you get the absolute sharpest, best picture quality, hands down. And I will argue that if I go from Hulu, you name the streaming service, if I'm watching it via Apple TV compared to watching it on Roku or any other streaming service, it always looks better on an Apple TV. It always does. Now, I'm not sponsored by Apple, but that just hands down that I would go with an Apple TV over anything. Now, I really would like for them to come out with a new Apple TV device. There's rumors that it's going to be released any day. The second it is, I'll purchase it. But I really like the Apple TV box. So I've used all the streaming services. I have I think there is a certain difficulty with streaming, trying to put the packages together. I think some people have the mentality, I only want to pay with the channels that I'm watching, but you never know when something's going to come on a channel that you want to watch. So you want to have easy access to the channel when you want to watch it. And so sometimes you got to try to piece all of these packages together. All right. So now let's turn our attention to AT&T TV. Now, AT&T TV, man, you talk about a confusing mess of trying to understand everything, okay? Obviously, you have DirecTV. That's the satellite, all right? Now, if you don't want satellite, you don't want any of that, and you want to move away, you want to get to streaming, well, then AT&T TV really offers you two basic options. One is called AT&T TV Now, and that's the one that you can just download the app, go to the website, you can subscribe, and you can start streaming right now. AT&T TV Now, all right? Now, their packages are, and I think almost everyone agrees, they cost a lot, all right? In many cases, they would say they're overpriced. However, if you look at all of their packages, you come very close. With all of their packages, you come very close of getting pretty much every major channel that you want available. Now, there are some major exceptions. The two big, I think, glaring holes in what they offer, and there are probably a couple of more, but the ones that just jump out at me is the NFL Network and NFL Red Zone. Why it's not currently available, I have no idea. If AT&T TV Now could get that available, that would be major, that would be big. But AT&T TV Now, the packages, again, I believe I think they do need to reduce the prices. They've upped the prices. But I think here's what's going to happen. YouTube TV, they've upped their prices. I think we're going to start seeing a price increase on pretty much all the streaming services. So if you want live TV, all the prices are going to go up. I think that's what we're looking at. I think AT&T TV right now may be the most expensive. But here's the thing. On their service, if you go look at all of their packages, you can ultimately get pretty much every channel available out there. You can pretty much get them right there. Now, here's what makes that interesting. Let's say, again, I've already given an example. If I have Hulu, I can't get Paramount TV. So I'm going to have to go to subscribe to something else to get that. So then I've got two services, two different services, two different bills, and just to get the channels that I want. But if you could do them all on AT&T TV Now, one service, all the channels, even though it's a little higher price, some may say that's worth it for the convenience sake and just having it all right there. I open up AT&T TV Now. I open up the app. There are the channels I want. There's the channels I want. So some people would say that makes it worthwhile. Others would say, no, I'd rather piece it together and there. And make sure you understand AT&T TV Now, the streaming service alone, okay, there's no annual contract. You can cancel it at any time. Again, the packages are a little expensive, but if you look at their ultimate package, in fact, what is it called? Let me look here. AT&T TV Now. Let me go here. That's AT&T TV. That's the one we're going to really be talking about. But here's AT&T TV Now. Let's go to the packages. Yeah, you can go to the Premier package, which is $183 a month. Now, that sounds insane. In some ways it is, but please note, that gives you everything. That gives you HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, HBO, Stars, Hallmark. I mean, it gives you pretty much anything you could possibly want. That's the Premier package, but it's $183. But again, if you're piecing all of these different packages together to try to get everything, you still may be relatively close. And then you've got multiple bills coming from multiple different services. If you can do it all in one, then does that make it worthwhile? Some will say yes, some will say no. Now, that's AT&T TV Now, all right? You can go subscribe to it right now. You don't have to do anything, right? No annual contract. It's like Hulu Live, YouTube TV, you name it. Sling works the exact same way, right? And you can use your Apple Television, you can use your Roku, you can all the different ways of watching it. However, they also have another service. There's AT&T. Remember, they got DirecTV, then AT&T TV Now, and now they have what's called AT&T TV. Now, what's the difference? Now, it is bizarre that they would have AT&T TV. Why have AT&T TV if you've already got AT&T TV Now? It's very interesting, but let me just try to explain. AT&T TV is a streaming service. However, they have their own streaming device. They have their own box. And on this box, not only do you get AT&T TV and the AT&T TV streaming service, which is just like AT&T TV Now, you use their box, you can get it. On their device, you can add Netflix and other apps. So you have everything in one place. Okay. Well, you can kind of do that with an Apple TV. Well, in a sense, right? I mean, it's all on the one box. Yeah. So, okay. I still don't, it still makes it weird. Like, why do they have their own box? Now, here's my question. It's been my question since the beginning. Is their box, is the AT&T TV box that they send you or that you can pick up at an AT&T TV store if you subscribe to AT&T TV, is it superior to all the other streaming boxes? No one in any review has really dealt with this. Is it superior in picture quality? Is it superior? Now, there is one thing that a lot of people have talked about AT&T TV. That is the remote is very much more like a traditional remote. And some people like that better than especially the Apple TV remote, which at times can become very irritating. I think once you get used to it, it's okay. But some people believe the AT&T TV remote makes it far superior because it looks like a traditional remote that you would have used for Dish Network, DirecTV, or cable. All right, maybe not. We'll have to see. So they have a box. Now, if the box is not superior, if the box does not provide better quality, if the box does not provide better picture quality, if there's not something absolutely over the top great about the box, then what's the point? Right? What's the point? Because I can just subscribe to AT&T TV now and just use the app on my Apple TV. What's the point? Well, the thing that makes it attractive, at least at the outset, is this. I can pay $183 a month and go to the Premier package for AT&T TV, now the streaming service alone, or I can subscribe to AT&T TV, and for the first year, I will get that $183 package for $135. Okay, that's a big discount for a year. And I get pretty much every channel that's available, right? I mean, pretty much any channel that I could want would be available. That makes it attractive. Now, the second year, because this is a 2-year contract for AT&T TV, guess what? It's going to jump up to the $183. Now, I would be paying the $183 already if I was subscribing to that package with AT&T TV now. So that's the thing that makes it attractive, is it has that big first year discount. What's weird is, though, why have the two things? Like, here's the one, you can have our box and our remote and a 2-year contract, or you can have all the same channels for just using the app. Now, if there's some major channel difference, I'm not aware of it as of yet. We're going to get to that in a future episode. You'll see why. So, because I've seen, because AT&T TV has their own box, I wanted to try it. I do not like the idea of a 2-year contract. I do not. I hate that. But here's what I'm doing. Last night, I subscribed to AT&T TV. The box is on its way. It's going to be here anytime, possibly this afternoon. And I've got 14 days to try out the box. As long as I send that box back on like day 13, then everything will be canceled and I'm not going to be charged. So far, I haven't paid a dime. I've subscribed to everything. Everything's good. But here's what's interesting. All right. So last night, go to AT&T TV. I set up an ID. I subscribe. Boom. They send me an email. Your box will be sent to you. Please enjoy all the streaming that you want right now. And guess what you download? You download the AT&T TV app, which is basically AT&T TV Now. You'll log in with the account information that you set up and you start streaming immediately. So right now, already, I'm watching AT&T TV Now on the AT&T TV Now app, which is really now the AT&T TV app. And I'm already streaming everything without the box. So what makes the box so important? Why have a box as a part of your streaming service when as soon as someone signs up, they start streaming without your box? Now, there has to be something about this box. When I hook it up, I'm going to be like, oh, wow, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. If it's not, well, then the only reason I would keep it is I get the big discount for a year. But then in the second year, I'm going to be paying the same price as I would be paying So then the box at that point becomes useless. Now, one good thing, there's one good thing. Already in my house, we have two televisions. The television, I'm standing in kind of my television room with my big 65-inch ultra high def 4K OLED television, which, I'm obviously picky. But in the living room, we have a nice television in there. And guess what? On both televisions right now, we're already watching AT&T TV via the AT&T TV Now app. I mean, really the AT&T TV Now app. I've got to keep trying to, they really want them both to be called AT&T TV. That's what they really want. But I'm using a different language so that you understand. AT&T TV Now, that's just the streaming service you can subscribe to right now. No annual contract, right? But if you want AT&T TV, you're going to get their box and you have a 2-year contract, but you get the big first year discount. All right. I'll make sure I'm going to keep repeating that. But the second I signed up for AT&T TV, they sent me an email, said log in right now. I put the AT&T TV Now, I'm going to call it that, the AT&T TV app on both televisions, logged in, and we're already watching all of the channels. Man, pretty much we've got every premium channel. We've got everything. That's where I was watching the Laverne and Shirley marathon just a few minutes ago. We've got pretty much every channel you can think of, other than, again, the two big ones that I think that they've got to fix: NFL Network and NFL Red Zone. They've got to fix that. If you're going to be charging $183, you've got to get those two networks. You've got to. They've got to work something out with the NFL. They really do. I think that will make this package then kind of a must-have, because then you would have everything in one location. So the box is going to arrive. Once the box arrives, then I will give you I'm going to tell you everything about the box. I may even try to make a video and post it on YouTube, on the Currently On YouTube channel. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try to ensure that if you've got any questions, I'm going to try to answer them. So here's what you can do. If you have any questions in regards to AT&T TV, that's the streaming service. It's a streaming service where they send you their device. It's a 2-year contract. The first year you get a big discount. But it's the same channels, same packages as what's basically called AT&T TV Now, which is the streaming service that doesn't require their box, that you can sign up right to now. No 2-year contract. And you can start streaming right now. However, you don't get the big first year discount, right? So it's very interesting. I was talking to someone about it last night. They're like, well, why do they have a box? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know why they have a box. I don't know. Why do they have a box? What makes their box so unique? Why do I need their box when I can go out and get an Apple TV or a Roku? Now, please note, when you do sign up for AT&T TV, they send you the box for free. They send you a box for free. As far as I know, there's no monthly fee for the box. So that even makes it even more weird. Like, why? Like, hey, here's our streaming service. Here's our box. Now, you don't need the box. You can start watching it right now. It's really weird. So I'm baffled by it. And we're gonna work our way through it, and we're going to see. So in this episode, I just wanted to kind of give you an introduction of what we're going to be doing, throw out some of my thoughts about streaming, some of my thoughts about television. And, like I said, it's all really comes down to your thinking. My thinking is I want access to everything when I want it. I want it. Oh, I want that package. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm done with that package. I'm going to drop back down 3 packages down because I think I'm going to just be focusing on watching this. Okay. Oh, wait. The new season of whatever came out, I need that bigger package. I want to be able to go back and forth. And if it's all done through one service, one bill, and that service can give me everything I want, that kind of makes it convenient. All right. That's my thoughts. You may think differently. You may like to try to, patch it all together. Okay, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to use this, I'm going to drop this. I mean, just think of all the different streaming services you already have. Like right now I have Netflix, have Peacock Television, have HBO Max. Now, the good thing is with AT&T TV, HBO Max comes, I think, free for a year. So that's going to save me $15 a month for a year. So that's good. So that's a positive thing right there. So there's just so many, and like, which ones do you want? Which ones do you not want? And, it just, you may want to try to patch them all together, or maybe AT&T TV is going to be the service. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical that you're going to make me get a 2-year contract. Now, you give me a big first-year discount, which I do appreciate, but like, why do I need the box? Why do I need the box? And I saw one video on YouTube where they tried to make the argument that really the AT&T TV app on the Apple television actually looked better than it did through the AT&T TV box that they send you. Now, if that's true, well then that would defeat the whole purpose. Like, why create basically hardware that you have to ship out to everyone when you've already got the app that's available on everyone's streaming device already? Like, who needs the box? Like, right? Like the people who don't have, I guess people who don't have a streaming device, but even then, my smart television, I can download the AT&T TV app for my television without even a streaming device. Now, I haven't seen the quality of that. I'm going to have to do that today. So it's a really weird concept. It's like, is it a streaming service, or it's trying to act like cable and satellite, but it's streaming. And again, I signed up for AT&T TV. I want to make sure you understand this. I signed up literally 5 seconds after signing up. I logged into the AT&T TV app on my Apple television, and I was watching TV. I was watching hockey. Boom. Watching the hockey game last night. There you go. Today I watched Bellator MMA, the latest show that they did on the Paramount Network. It was available on demand. I watched that. Then I watched some Laverne and Shirley. So I don't even have the box yet. So why do I need it? So it's really interesting. And just make sure you remember, if you have the box on one television, any other television in your house without the box, they don't need the box. They just download the app and they can watch the same channels right there. Now, the one thing that seems to be missing is the ability to create separate profiles. That may be a big negative. I love Hulu and all the different profiles you can create. And again, I like Hulu's interface where they're not worried about trying to give you which channel to watch. They're trying to give you the content to watch. And I like that, whether you're watching it live or watching it on demand. But there we have it. You can email me, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. That's newsif@yahoo.com. Any question you have about this service, AT&T TV, any question, or AT&T TV Now, because technically I'm using that service as well. It's the same service. Any questions, email me, and then in previous episodes, we can answer those questions, all right? So that by doing it multiple episodes also gives you the ability to ask the question, and then I can answer you in an actual episode of the podcast. Ask away as soon as possible. And if you have any questions about any other streaming service, Hulu, Sling, Apple Television, Roku, the TiVo's new streaming device, if you've got a question, I will answer it because I've used them all. I use them all. And I can tell you what's good, what's bad. If you're trying to put together a streaming package and you tell me which channels you want, I can probably, without even doing research, tell you relatively quick. Like right now, I'm subscribed to Hulu, subscribed to Fubo TV. Obviously, I've subscribed to AT&T TV. Now, currently, obviously, I haven't paid any money, and I don't know if I'm going to stay with it. But so I've used them all. I've used them all. Friendly, I think it's called Friendly TV. It's a small package you can subscribe to for like the Hallmark channels. My wife wanted it. We've done that. Philo, I've used them all. So any questions, I will do my best to try to help you. All right, there you have it. This is the introduction to what will be an extensive review of AT&T TV, the streaming service that requires a 2-year contract and they send you a box. All right, which is separate from AT&T TV Now, which they're really trying to call AT&T TV, which is the streaming service that you can use right now without a 2-year contract and without a box. It's the same thing, just delivered. Well, it's basically delivered the same way. It's really weird. So we'll see, and I'm going to walk through it step by step, and I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be honest, and I'm not sponsored by anyone. I wish I was. If anybody out there wants a podcast that will promote your product, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. We'll work out a deal, okay? We'll work out a deal. If you have a podcast and you already make lots of money and you want your podcast promoted, I'm your guy, okay? So, but there you have it. I'll stop right there. All right. Any questions? Email me, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. The second episode for this kind of mini series will probably happen once the box arrives. And then I'm going to be able to compare the picture quality. And I'm probably going to know within about 15 minutes if the box is worth it or if it's an absolute waste of time. But I will go through all of its features, the positives, the negatives, and I'll be fair. I'll be unbiased because no one's paying me any money to say good or bad. And then you, the consumer, you can make the best decision for you and your family. All right. Any questions, email me and I'll help you out. All right. Everyone have a great day. I always say at the end of every episode, life is way, 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 way too short. So enjoy it. Try something new. Like that's what I'm doing. Hey, there's this new box out, the AT&T TV. I'm going to try it. Why not? Right? It'll be fun to hook it up, go through it. It'll be fun. Just find the little things to enjoy. All right. And less negativity, more positivity, and just enjoy life. All right. Everyone have a great day.